The views and opinions expressed on Cocktails with Kenzie are those of the host and guest and do not necessarily reflect the views or official policies of any mentioned individuals, brands, or companies. This show is intended for entertainment purposes only and should not be considered professional advice. Cocktails with Kenzie is not affiliated with, endorsed by, or sponsored by Crown Royal, Diageo, or any of their subsidiaries or partners. Any mention or display of products or drink recipes is for commentary and entertainment only. Listener discretion is advised. Now sip responsibly and let's get into the fun. What's up, Royals? Tonight we're talking about a documentary that has the internet on fire. 50 Cent executive producing a Diddy documentary, the backlash he's catching, and why this leads perfectly into a real-life situation in Split with one of our beloved celebrities, Kandi Burruss, and conversations regarding prenup and postnup. Because what's messier, the timeline or the fine print? But we'll get into that after the intro.
Pour it up, it's cocktails with Kenzie. Let's vibe, vibe, vibe. Top up in that talk with some truth on the side. Shine and tea, we keep it divine. Real talk and rhythm, yes, Kenzie time. Stay lit, stay real. It's cocktails with Kenzie, baby, that's the deal.
Welcome to Cocktails with Kenzie. Of course, I'm Mackenzie, your Crown Unfiltered host, and over here we're building the kind of show that feels like your favorite group chat, but with better transitions and stronger drinks. Here's what we'll be discussing on this side. My business, your business, and their business, but pop culture, celebrity headlines, real-life events, and then we'll get into the segment Royal Court, where you, the listeners, are able to submit your questions for my Sagittarius Unfiltered advice. And with that, each episode will feature a different cocktail made with Crown Royal, my favorite, that relates to the topic at hand. So let's get into the drink of the week, shall we? Tonight's featured drink is the Royal Claws. Start with 2 ounces of Crown Royal Regal Apple, 1 ounce of cranberry juice, half an ounce of fresh lemon juice. Top that with ginger ale, garnish with an apple slice or lemon twist, and enjoy. Today we're sipping the Royal Claws because we're talking documents, deals, and relationship contracts. That's good and strong. So let's get into it. What's the documentary? All right, you asked. So Netflix released a docuseries called Sean Combs' The Reckoning, a 4-part documentary series executive produced by 50 Cent and directed by Alexandra Stapleton. I've seen it. Did y'all see it? If you haven't, go ahead and watch it. It's very interesting, but it's kind of some recycled information. Anywho, it's positioned as an examination of Diddy's rise, the empire, and the darker allegations and controversies that have long surrounded the music mogul. Now, if you're new to hip-hop culture, here's the simple version, as simple as I can put it. 50 Cent and Diddy have had a long-running public feud and tension. Not always direct beef in songs, but definitely in commentary and public shots. 50, who's built a whole second career on being a producer and also being petty on the internet. And with that being said, 2 things can be true at once. So when the people heard Diddy documentary produced by 50 Cent, what? Whatever. The internet immediately went, oh, this is either going to be investigative or this is going to be the petty Olympics. Whereas here's where the backlash comes in. Some viewers and commentators are saying, is this documentary about accountability and telling the story, or is it just about clout and being mean? Is it ethical to make entertainment out of allegations and trauma? And what about the people who were impacted? Are they centered, or is it just a spectacle of some sort? Well, On the flip side, some are applauding the documentary for forcing uncomfortable conversations, especially when powerful people have historically been protected. You guys know this. Now, one of the biggest talking points has been the use of never before seen footage reportedly filmed just days before Diddy's arrest in 2024. Footage Diddy team's claims was unauthorized. But 50 Cent and Netflix, according to sources, have disputed that, with reporting describing legal back and forth, including cease and desist claims from Diddy's side and responses from 50's side that the footage was obtained legally. And for me, this raises a bigger immediate question. Even if something is legally obtained, is it always morally clean to use it? I want y'all to answer this in the comments. Do you think 50 is producing this from a place of accountability or personal agenda? When documentaries use private filling footage, do you feel informed or do you feel like you're watching someone's downfall as entertainment? Where's the line between exposing and exploiting? Speaking of lines and boundaries and paperwork, let's slide into the next story because this one we didn't see coming. And this one brings us straight into real life contracts. Kandi Burruss and Todd Tucker. Okay, for anybody who doesn't watch Bravo, Kandi Burruss is a longtime star of The Real Housewives of Atlanta, a songwriter, entrepreneur, and overall boss. Todd Tucker worked in TV production. He met Kandi while working on Real Housewives of Atlanta during a cast trip in 2011 to Africa. They started dating in 2011 on the show, got engaged in 2013 on the show, and married in April 2014 on the show. They share 2 children and both have a child from previous relationships, Riley and Kayla. Recently, Kandi confirmed she filed for divorce. She's described it as emotional and says she's focusing on peace and respectful co-parents. Now, at first, it seemed things were going in the right direction until reports were released that Todd is now asking for full custody, even though the initial filing by Kandi was asking for 50-50 custody split between the two. Now, there has been speculation that this was all a scheme that Todd set up to come to Kandi with the bull. Shout out to Aunt Bertha. If you, the Real Housewives historians of Atlanta, can recall, Candy's family, especially Mama Joyce,
God, let me tell you, ain't no river high enough, ain't no ocean deep enough, ain't no desert hot enough to keep me on your ass, baby.
was always against this union from the start. They were all scared this day would come and Todd would end up trying to take Candy's multi-million-dollar fortune. There were also past characters on the show, we're going to call them characters, that alleged Todd was an opportunist and always on the hunt for a come up, allegedly. Other reporting has included claims from sources about relationship strains as well as cheating. Now, y'all know popular YouTuber and friend in my head, Funky Deneva, who lives in Atlanta and who's a part of those social circles, said on one of his shows that Todd was having an affair, or it was rumored he was having an affair with a well-known woman whose name allegedly begins with H. Again, alleged. So we're going to be careful and stick to what's publicly reported and confirmed, if you know what I mean. And I'm sure you do. One reason this hits home is because their relationship has been discussed publicly, including conversations around prenups in the Bravo universe. Now, that's going to lead us into the real life question. Prenup. Is it only for the rich? I don't know. You tell me. But let's talk prenups. In case you don't know, a prenup is a legal agreement signed before marriage that can outline how assets, debts are handled if the marriage should end, which nobody ever plans for them to do. And they say You're doing that for the person you're going to divorce, not the person you're going to marry. And no, prenups are not only for millionaires. Everyday people use them. When one partner has a business, one has kids from previous relationships, there's student loan debt, there's property involved, one person's income is way higher, or you just simply want clarity if this marriage should end. You sign a postnup after you're already married? And courts can look at them differently because you're already legally tied. So it's important that it's done fairly with full disclosure and ideally each person having their own counsel. Now, I forgot to mention this part. According to some reports, Todd and his attorneys may attempt to claim the prenup was signed under duress. If you'll recall from the show, Todd clearly stated the day before the wedding that he would sign the prenup against his lawyer's advice. Now, he attempted to contact his counsel over the phone, you guys remember, but, he went ahead with it. Some legal experts have stated there may be a legal loophole that could ultimately help Todd against his case. Help Todd with his case against Kandi. If you'll recall, Kandi is currently working on Broadway, and this may help his case for full custody, according to some reports. But me personally, I don't think so. Kandi is a woman of financial means, and what we can see is that she is an awesome mother. In her filing, she did state that in her absence, she has a host of family in Atlanta that could step in and help her. I really don't see a judge taking the kids. And that's my own personal opinion. And usually courts do not tend to remove the kids from a mother's custody unless she is deemed unfit. So, good luck, Todd. We'll be watching. Now, here's my question for you. If you and your spouse started at the bottom and now you're here, and then one of you starts gaining more financially than the other, do you believe in signing a post-nuptial agreement? I don't. There are other things that can go into play, trust, things like that. Yeah, we'll get into that another time. But I want your feelings about that, okay? Now, prenups, is it a deal breaker or smart planning? Postnups, respectfully or a sneaky move? If you refuse to sign either, then why? If you sign, what would you want protected? Go to the website www.crownbykenzie.com and submit your questions and tell me, make sure you tell me if you want it to be anonymous. Thank y'all for pulling up for season 1, episode 1. And here's a quick reminder. Clips go out on Tuesday on the website crownbykenzie.com, which will lead you to YouTube at Kocktails with Kenzie. All right, make sure to check out Crown by Kenzie Instagram page, Facebook page, Twitter page, and also check out the Crown by Kenzie YouTube page, which is my other page where I may go live and I'll get a little bit deeper into the stories and we'll be relaxed and we'll just have a good time. Now, full podcast episodes are going to be posted every Wednesday. And again, go to the website. You'll find out everything you need to know. crownbykenzie.com. That's KROWNDBY KENZIE.com. All the links are there. Okay. Thank you guys so much, and I appreciate y'all for pulling up. And just know, if you're the first here, you're part of the foundation of the Royal Court. Again, y'all go on, submit those questions, any business inquiries. If you want to be a guest on the show, or if you just want me to talk about something, put it on there. And also keep in mind, if you click on the link that says Royal Court, you'll be taken to a form where you'll be able to go in and ask me questions or tell me a situation that you or maybe a friend is going through and you want my unfiltered royal advice. Make sure y'all hit me up and let me know, because I'm waiting to hear from you guys, and you'll have a chance at me reading your letter on the next show. And again, make sure if you want it to be anonymous, put it in there, okay? I look forward to talking to you guys. You guys have a great evening and enjoy your drink, because I know I am. Bye.
Pour it up, it's cocktails with Kenzie. Let's ride. Top up in that talk with some truth on the side. And tea, we keep it divided. Real talk and rhythm, yes, Kenzie time. Stay lit, stay real. It's cocktails with Kenzie, baby, that's the deal.